Hello, beloved. It's me again. I'm here in South Devon in England, and I'm just going to play with something. Okay, and I've obviously been. I haven't put anything up for a little while, so I don't know if I've got anything to say. I've been spending time with my mum, which has been beautiful. She's now gone back to Australia, so I'm here on my own till the end of October, which is very nice. I'm seeing autumn come in. We are in an interesting time at the moment. I am finding for myself that there is a lot of old heaviness coming up to be looked into and to be felt, and to just not to get hooked into. It's like sitting with the devil. It's like not inviting it in and not pushing it away, and looking and seeing what needs to be seen within this body-mind system called Suchira. It's getting triggered sometimes. Obviously, I also trigger other people at times. When you are a bit outside the box, you're going to trigger people because you won't be able to go along with the amnesia that they are in. And as much as I can allow people to be wherever they are, and that is their right, when it affects me, then I can't, and I'm not interested in just staying deaf, dumb and blind. So if it's to do with them and it's their stuff, then, and they're not interested to know anything different, then that's fine. They're perfect where they are. But when it gets to the point where it is affecting me personally, their attitudes or whatever, or they're wanting me to swallow something that I don't happen to agree with, then I am, instead of keeping my mouth shut, I am saying something, which of course is not always received, because it's a bit like if you're talking to somebody, if a child is in kindergarten or in preschool and you're in university, it's very difficult to explain something. Doesn't mean that you're better, it just means that maybe you see a little bit differently, and other people are not really in the space yet to be able to see that. Coming back to England, it's beautiful to be here, and of course there are many beautiful people that you meet, sometimes very ordinary people, like the technician who has been fixing my internet, and he's anyway, beautiful connections and beautiful feelings and nice ways to share. But then I meet people who consider themselves to be evolved people or quite aware people. But what I see is that they are running from the cradle to the grave. They are going so fast. They are so lost in their lives that they don't seem to stop and have sometimes even any care for themselves. And I find often somebody comes to have a cup of tea with me and I'm just being bombarded with stuff, talking about everything and anything and nothing, and it's absolutely not interesting to me, and it's coming so fast at me. I really feel quite shocked, and I have to ask them if they could just slow down a bit, or I actually have to often just walk away, or just make some reason why I don't need to be there, because of course they're not open. They don't want you to tell them, excuse me, it's too much for me or whatever. Well, I can do that, but anyway, so it's very interesting, and it surprises me because it is more people that are quite mature people. They are not beginners in this life, but somehow they've got stuck with or where they are, I suppose, and that's good. But what I see is in this collective that it saddens me so much, because I see that so many have not really even started yet. And I can understand why this planet is in difficulty as it is. People are just running, they're not questioning anything, they're just in it. And they have, it surprises me and it shocks me, and in a way it saddens me, because I understand why the planet cannot change, why this is the majority of the people. As I say, maybe it doesn't take very much. It only takes one candle to come into a room to make a dark room light. So I just encourage you all to slow down a little bit, to not judge yourself if you are going into some sort of what looks like breakdown, because the breakdown is actually the maturing in a way. One has to sometimes break down to start realizing that one breaks through. And many of these people that I'm seeing around have not even started. They are in their bubble of their life, and they are happy in it, which is fine. But they can't see that they're not really happy. They are sort of, it's like an amnesia. It's like they've hypnotized themselves or whatever. So really they haven't even stepped into the ocean yet. They're still standing there on the shore. So my beloved ones, if you are in this time finding that you're feeling vulnerable, finding that you cannot deal with certain people, don't be afraid sometimes to let go and just take some space. Doesn't mean you have to let go totally. It may mean that you will come back, because what I've understood for myself is that as energies shift, as people shift, you suddenly find you can connect again, and there is totally new energy. But in this time, we are processing also, we are refining also. So it is very important to allow yourself the space where you can just not be bombarded, and you can allow this new refining to come through, because in this you will then be a greater gift. And if you are not ready to go along with the amnesia of somebody else, you cannot force anything on anybody, and you should not. You should allow them to be where they are. That is their right. So in saying that, if you live it yourself, you walk it yourself, you show that sometimes you are vulnerable and what have you. In that, when the person is ready to shift, they will be able to connect maybe with you, or they will know at least somebody who will be able to show them that has already shown them that it can be different. So as we know, we are in the greatest gifts of this planet. We are in a very beautiful time, and we also know in that we will be tested. So my beloved ones, this is just me. As you can see, I've got some beautiful flowers that I was given the other day, very beautiful. I am just enjoying being here. I am processing whatever is left within this body mind to process and to refine. This sometimes means waking up with this feeling of depression, which has been part of my cellular family memory. But there is the beauty of meditation, the beauty of being a walker of the space, is that you don't get stuck in it the same. It still comes to visit sometimes, and you go, what the hell am I doing on this planet? And then you get up and make a cup of tea, and you move yourself, and you have a shower, and you get moving, and you go for a walk in nature, and you just take a few deep breaths, and you just walk through it. It doesn't mean you push it away. and it doesn't mean you invite it in and feed it, but you do acknowledge that it is there, and you do take care of what you need to do. People have this idea that as you become more aware, you will not be feeling, or you'll not be having any of this, and everything will be perfect. And I don't mean to disillusion you, but it's not that things stop. You will still be tested, you will still be refining, you still will be polishing the diamond that you are. But it will be seen from a different space, and that is a difference. There is just a shift in how and where you're seeing from, and in that it doesn't, you are not unconscious of it, you are conscious of it, and in that it shifts. And once you shift and the clarity comes, then there is the blessings come, and suddenly you will get something, or something will come, or just to remind you how this existence loves you and values that you are walking through this, that you are not avoiding it, that you are accepting everything that life has to give you, and choosing how you manage to negotiate your way through it. So, my beloved ones, I wish you the most beautiful morning. Yes, it is still morning here. I had, as I say, a beautiful technician who came and got my internet back up, so it's running very nice and fast, so I can do a video and hopefully download it easily. And we meet some precious people who are also going through their own stuff, but they're not unconscious. They are walking it, and it's beautiful to see that they have the courage. And it's sometimes beautiful that I can get to meet them and just encourage them a little bit on their way, and they realize they're not also beginners, that they are well on the path and doing beautifully. So, my beloveds, while we still have this beautiful medium called internet, I'm going to try and download this and send it to you. And I send you lots of love. Birds are singing here. Keep on walking it. Keep on breathing. Take a step back. Take a few deep breaths. Just come back to yourself, even if it's just for a couple of minutes, and just relax your ass. And you're doing great. We are in a most precious time, but it is a challenge, and it is a beautiful challenge. Lots of love. Bye for this morning.